Tonight I'd like to tell you a series of short stories that have two functions. I hope to give you a little chuckle along the way, and also hope that you appreciate your siblings a little more at that. And before I begin, I want to introduce three characters. Number one, my brother Brian, B or Woodsy, as the stories may progress. His mate Damo, and his mate Doyle, who also might be referred to as Live, who are all very good friends of mine now, in spite of what I'm about to tell you. So, the first thing Brian ever did for me, or to me, was carry me in from my neighbour's house. Now, why they let a 5-year-old carry a baby who was born 9-2 in? So he's coming in like this, and he's doing his best. Just as he gets to the door, my mom comes out, and he goes, "He's too heavy!" And bang! And down I go, which I'm sure many parents have experienced. And as I got a little older, something happened that I wasn't happy about. I needed glasses, I had a lazy eye, and I got glasses that were big, thick milk bottles, the real standard issue kind of things. And I was conscious about going to school with them. So Brian said, "Listen, when you go into your class, sit down as normal and say to the class, if anyone gives me a box in the face, my brother, anyone calls me Spectre Four Eyes, my brother will give them a box in the face." So with that, I went in and I took his advice. Well, was that teacher livid. My God, she was angry. On the other hand, the end justifies the means, because nobody called me Specky Four Eyes. He then, at a later stage, we were in our cousin's house in Athlone, and we went to see to this lake, as we did every day. And my cousin is only 8 weeks younger than me. So Brian, being the older brother, took the opportunity to always pit us against each other. So he decided that the test of manhood, and when you're 8 years old, you gotta prove this, is skinny tipping. And Colin just says, "No way, and bolts." And Brian turns to me and goes, "Pete, those Colin wasn't that. Are you?" "Yeah." So I take my togs off. "Oh, I need to see them." So I hold them up. What did I regret that? He catches my arm, and just watch them, and they gone! In. So Brian swims in takes my togs, leaves me there in the water. My auntie is kind of like, "It's time to go." Couldn't get worse. There's a school camp of girls! Oh no! So, not much time left, and Brian realizes he has to give me my togs back. So he throws them into the water, into the shallowest end. So I'm like, "Oh, there's a lot of girls over there, mate." So I'm coming in like this, trying to hide my chain. And I eventually come out. So I get a little older, and as any young lad discovers, girls become a fascinating creature. And you want to get to know them more, but how do you talk to them? They're suddenly the most complex things in the world. So I seek Brian for advice, and he says, "Usual stuff, relax, be yourself, just talk to them, talk about music, whatever." Damo interjects, "Woodsy, that's terrible! Beats fat, spotty, and boring." Not exactly the confidence boost I was hoping for on. So, a few years later then, Doyle and I go to the pub together on the afternoon. And we start drinking, and pint for pint, no bother. About 10 o'clock rolls around, and we say, we'll go back to the house with a few cans and get a takeaway, because the pub didn't do food. So we get back, and Brian had been working till 10 o'clock, and he didn't like the fact that we were out together. So he pits us against each other, drunk, suggestible, and proving you're a man again. 30 quid goes down. Round 1, raw eggs, Doyle and me. Round 2, cold water with undiluted gravy granules. Yeah, it was that bad. Round 3 is round 1 and 2 together. No bother. Round 4, I bow down to Doyle. He just goes like this, "Pete, I don't know what you're worried about. This onion tastes just like an apple." And he had to finish it. And it was about this big, and he does, and he goes through it. Doyle left victorious and triumphant, with pride, leaving the money behind. And 3 days later, Doyle still sneezed onions, so to this day I claim that victory. And then I still wanted to meet girls, so Damo assisted me in getting a job in Next. And loads of girls there. This was my opportunity. But Damo made sure meet girls was all I did. He went on a mission to humiliate me. And this was best demonstrated when I called in sick one time. with a hangover. Legitimately with a hangover. Now, every day next starts with a team talk where they go through various things, and they do say such and such is out sick. So in front of a room of 50 people, and Peter's out sick today, and Damon shouts up, "Yes, his mother was on to me. He's a terrible case of diarrhea." But then it doesn't stop there. The next day I go into work and he'd do this to a colleague. He'd catch me by the arm. "Here, young Peter here. He was out sick yesterday. Diarrhea he had. His mother said it was all over the walls." Well, the ground never, ever swallowed me up on this one. And the last story I'll tell you before I get to my revenge is that Brian and I were going on holidays, and Damo and him decided the most important thing was that I have a hairless chest. So they run out and buy Veet wax strips. Now, I'm not on board with this myself. And I've no t-shirt on, and they're like, oh, I don't know. And next thing they're like, "Oh, Pete, it's grand, bang!" And it's just like, oh no. It's like a band-aid, it's only coming off one way. So, followed by the girliest shriek in history, and the droplets of blood oozing down my chest. The next day, my chest looked like it had been used for chicken feed and its own little spots on it. But revenge did come, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of years ago, Brian got fascinated with Twitter. Thought it was the best thing ever, tweeting celebrities left, right and centre. All he wanted was a celebrity to follow him. And then a colleague in work points out, I have a Hollywood A-lister following me. And to this I say, the only way I've ever been able to take revenge, thank you for following me, Emilio Estevez. Thank you very much, everybody.